deal in our business when you don't have a union, which I wish you did, and you have nobody to protect your ass or your assets. Your trust is in your boss, your referee, and the guy you're in the ring with.
I hope they get $350 million plus out of Vince. Because
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, as far as I'm concerned, the buck stops with Vince. If his own employees that come and set up the show, plus all the technical people that are at those arenas that work for the arena, that night they're under contract with Vince. They are paid. The buck stops here. First thing Vince says, we got a full investigation. I ain't heard diddly do squat about an investigation. Second thing he said on CNN, it could have been Bret's fault. He is not the man to strap himself into that harness. And that's what he said, Owen. He said it could have been Owen's fault. He doesn't strap himself in that, the technicians do. So that's a cold, callous thing. I consider him a crippler on what he did and what he did to Droz, for that matter. I mean, D'Lo Brown was still very, very, very bad.
D'Lo's got to be hard, but you don't try a new move with a guy, a running power bomb
that
on
doesn't
TV
know what he's doing.
first time. And D'Lo is still green. I'm not blaming D'Lo, but
Droz
he
is
just
greener.
don't do it. And Droz is greener too. And I know, God damn it. I tell you, Owen used to come stay at my house, okay? Because he would take the flights to Calgary, and there wasn't a lot of good connections a lot of time. When shows would get canceled or something, come through, stay at my house, and his son, Owen Jr., was been just getting into hockey. My kids play hockey. I travel hockey, my daughter and my son. And, well, actually, my older boy did too. But, so Owen used to come watch, and, Owen played hockey with his kid too, but he'd come watch and see how, cause he's looking forward to what he's got to look forward to with his kid, his family. And I say, Owen, how in the world do you get up there and do that? He goes, Joe, I hate it.
He didn't like
Because
that.
I tell Vince every time I do not
He
want to
told
get
him
up there,
every night.
and I do not want to get up there and do this.
Told him
I said,
every
Owen, one of these times something's going to screw up and you're going to go down. Now, I didn't mean to say it. I said, but Owen, you got to think about that. He goes, I know. He goes, I'm never doing it again. But in our business, you know the way it is. If you don't do it, he's going to get some young fool to jump in your shoes, put on the blue suit, and come and do it for you. Right. And then there goes your payday, and you're fired out the door. And Owen just built a big new house. He was going home that next Monday to move into his house. Right. And when he did, a couple of days after, it was horrible. It was the most horrible thing. I took my son James up to the funeral. And I was done with the WWE at the time. We weren't working with him. We were still getting paid for free. Right. And I went up there I took my son up there. He paid for catering for the whole week, redid the whole house, resodded the whole property, put in brand new flowers, repainted the house, repainted the inside, did everything over.
Thinking that was going to
paid for the whole funeral. But I'll tell you what, a tribute to Owen. I've never seen a funeral procession like that in my entire life. Not even for a president.
People love that family.
Not even for a president. President Kennedy's, when I remember as a kid watching, was nothing. I didn't remember as a kid watching, but I remember seeing
like a cop funeral.
It was like a cop funeral. He had, I'm shitting you, I'm not kidding you, at least, I'd say 200 limos, 200 stretches, and then there was 2 big, huge WWF buses. Right. And then there was cars, a procession, at least they said 10, 15 miles long behind them. And they all went to the funeral, to the plot and everything, man. Yeah. It was in the funeral home, and it was on loudspeaker outside, and there was like 1,000, 2,000 people outside listening. And because Owen was one of the good guys in our business.
Great. He wasn't much on drinking. He never messed around on his wife. He was always one of them guys you knew you could count on.
And you know what he was doing? He was just putting time in. Owen had a teaching degree, was planning in the next 2 years to go back to teaching. He says, Joe, I'm only doing this a couple years. I just want to get my family financial set, pay for my house. I'm going to teach. Right. And I'm all behind Martha right away, his wife, and I hope I get asked to go up there to testify.
So I sure will.
Because I talked to her lawyer, and I had a conversations with Owen like that, and it was just one of the first sentences that came out of her mouth that she goes, I owe it to my husband that somebody will pay for this mistake and retribution will be served. And that's what she said. Man, that's a bigger mistake.
It's just a loss
of life. How do you put a guy in a harness with no safety net?
That's true.
We are not acrobats.
Even Sean did it at WrestleMania, I think 12, I think it was.
Well, yeah, it's too bad it wasn't Sean.
But there's no safety net. I mean, what do you try a new rigging technique that as soon as you pop it, it goes off, you're gone? That is just, why do you try something brand new on a pay-per-view that night? Why not even hook something that weighs 100 and something pounds up in it first and lower him down? Why do it with the human? I know I did a test run once with him. He came down, he went up fine, you know, but something goofed up.
What about your matches with Owen Hart and Coco Beware? Memories of some of those matches?
God, I mean, because, I mean, Owen was like incredible. You know that. I mean, everybody knew. And Coco Beware had that, oh my God, that charisma. And we had such great matches in Japan too. Me and Owen were partners, and then we went against each other so much for the junior heavyweight. And oh my God, we had the best match. It was so much fun.
Owen's another big ripper as well.
God, he was great. He would get you really good though.
Any good stories on Owen?
No, he never messed with me. But I remember he would get the other guys. Oh my God! But his were harmless.
You don't have any friends, and the ones you do are dead. And so I made up this frat shirt on the Cauliflower Alley Club. I had the old timers sign it. And I wanted to put on each name, and I wanted to wear it because I don't understand. Owen, I loved Owen. I loved his family. I do love his family. I know Owen walked out in the intermission. I just don't understand this. I don't understand how you can let a man fall and die in front of his family, scrape him off, and keep on going. I have myself. I've walked over Big John in Bakersfield that had a knife stick in his belly. I ain't any better.
What about Owen Hart? What are your memories of some of your early matches with Owen?
At first, Owen was difficult to deal with when he first started. He was in the business for 4 years. He just got out of high school. Everybody knew it. You know, the guy just climbed out of diapers, and all of a sudden they wanted him, and he was beating everybody. I said, this don't make no sense. If you want sympathy for this guy, you have him get in there and everybody kick the crap out of him first. Then you build him up and he wins a match here and he wins a match there, and people go for him. But you can't have him coming in here beating up everybody. It's not going to sell. And it didn't. And it started killing the houses because people said, this is bull. Well, one other thing about Owen, too. After his second sting in the WWF, he woke up to what the business was about. And he realized, don't take it serious. It's a show business. Get in there and make yourself some money. Take care of your family. And he realized that's what it was about, which when he first got there, you know, I actually almost threatened to kill him in the locker room one time up in Edmonton.
Why is that?
Well, they had me working with Hogan at the time, but Hogan worked 3 days a week. So then the days that he wasn't working, they put me in with Owen, the Blue Blazer. And they said, okay, you go over Allen, you give him the ghetto blaster. I'm giving the ghetto blaster to everybody, the Hogan, and they're all selling it, right?
Right.
So we're in Saskatoon, and I give him the ghetto blaster, pin him 1, 2, 3. I leave the ring. I hear this big chair. I look, he's standing up on the middle ropes with his arms up in the air. Oh, okay. So I went to the agent. I said, you talk to him. I said, because I said, you don't do business like this. I said, you know I'm working with Hogan, right? So they went and told him. I said, hey, Alan's working with your champ, man. What are you doing? You know. So he didn't say nothing. So now we get to Calgary, which is my hometown as well as his. He had his whole family in there, and they're saying, nah, he shouldn't put Alan over because everybody knows he's Owen Hart, because they went and told everybody the Blue Blazers Owen Hart, right? And they're going on, and they're arguing back and forth with the agent, right? I came in and I said, look, there ain't gonna be no argument. I'll just get DQ'd, disqualified, and don't worry about it. You know, it's no big deal. I'm home here. I'm happy to be home. I don't need this nonsense, right? So, okay, so we did that. So now the next night we're up in Edmonton. And the same thing. He wanted to go over and this and that and all this nonsense. So Dave Hepner was the agent, said, no, you either do it or you go home. Said, Alan goes over. So finally he did it begrudgingly. So now I go and I tell Earl, who's Dave's, because Dave was still refereeing, and I told Earl, I said, Earl, I'm telling you now, there won't be no misunderstanding because you're the referee. If he jumps up on those ropes now, I'm going to kick the crap out of him. Walked away. Earl went and told Dave. They freaked out. Alan, you can't do that. You know, I said, I'm telling you, I don't care what you say. I don't care if I get fired. I'm going to beat the crap out of him tonight, right? So sure enough, we get up there, give him the ghetto blaster, cover him 1, 2, 3, go to leave. Well, he seen me. We're in that hockey ring there, the hockey arena where the
Saddle Dome?
Yeah, not the Saddle Dome, the one in Edmonton.
Edmonton.
Yeah, the big building there. So he sees me go through the entrance, and I make a right. Well, when you make that right, there's a wall there. You can't see me. So he figured I left. He jumps up on the ropes, and there's this big cheer. And I look my head around. Okay. I walk back out. He's coming out the ring, and I hit him. Whack! Down he went. And I started putting the boots to him. Earl's trying to grab me. Alan, you're going to kill him, you know? So I went back, and I said, let that be a lesson to you. And I walked back and went back to the locker room. I went into the locker room, and I just gave it to him. I said, what is this nonsense? We all have to put everybody over. I said, I had to put your brother over 1,000,000 times. You know, what is this nonsense, you know? But like I said, then years later, he learned what the business is about. He realized that, you know, you got to go with the program, and that's it. And he became a decent person after that.
Jim, how would you compare teaming with Bret compared to teaming with Owen?
Well, Owen and Bret are similar in a few categories. They do a lot of the same moves and move in the same way a little bit, and are very good technical wrestlers in any sense of the word. You know, Owen was a little mild-mannered, where Bret was a little more seasoned. But other than that, Owen was a very, very accomplished top hand, and great to tag team with. He could do anything, you know. Those days, you know, a little bit of experience will carry you a long ways.
Right.
So I had a little bit of experience, and I tried to pass it over to Owen a little bit, and he was so technical, just like Bret was a little bit. He tried to work with each other that way.
I guess when you guys did your angle together, and you were feuding with your brother Owen, did you guys ever rib each other when you guys were, you know, in the ring together? Because you guys were opponents pretty much at that time.
Me and Jim.
Yeah. Did you guys ever rib each other at all?
Not really. I never ribbed Jim too much. Every once in a while. The only ribs I can remember doing to Jim was I used to do. You had to be very careful with Jim. You know, but I can remember pushing. We were walking back to the ring, and I would always push him from the side, like someone like a fan. Push him.
Who touched me?